Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. We're holding in Menachos Daf Tzadites. We're starting in the Mudalif, about 10 lines in the top. Yeah, Torah Rabbanan. So the previous staff we learned about the 10 Shulchanos the Shlomo HaMelech added, and the 10 Menorahs the Shlomo HaMelech added, and we learned exactly how it was situated. Maybe just to mention one Ha'ara, the Rambam seems to go. The question was, does it go from east to west or from north to south? The Rambam says the Shulchan goes east to west, and the Menorah goes north to south. Big Shiloh, why is the Rambam changing? This is something to understand. Okay. Torah Rabbanan Zok Gemara. Asar Shulchanos Shlomo. The obvious question in the morning, everybody jumped up on me. Shiloh was that they put chalas on all the Shulchanos. So that's the Gemara today. Lo yayu misadrim ela al shel Moshe. The only Shulchan they had lechemis was a Moshe Rabbeinu's. Shenimar is a Shulchan she'olav lechem aponim zov. There was one Shulchan that was miyuchad. Which one? Moshe Rabbeinu's. Esa Menorahs also Shlomo. The only menorah they used was Moshe Rabbeinu's. Shenimar Menorah Hazov and Nerasil Levi Barev. The menorah is Hazov.
The other was not from gold? The other Shulchan?
No, it was from gold. It says it was from gold, but they didn't use it. So that was the menorah. On all of them. Shene'amar is the Shulchanos v'aleim lechaporim. Uvekulam ayum adlikim. Shene'amar is the menorahs v'nerasim levi u'kemishpah lifnei advir zov sogol. So it says all of them menorahs. Now Rashi says not all of them every night, because then you had much more bread. Rashi learns pe'amim bezeh pe'im bezeh. I mean, it was sometimes they use this table, sometimes they use this table. Not all they always use one, but which one? It changed.
So there were times when they didn't use Moshe's table.
That's a mashma. Mashma from Rashi now.
Moshe's menorah.
Yeah, and use another menorah. No, it goes back to the shita. Rabbi goes like a shita who's a first shita as the Tanakam. And the mani mekayim is a shulchanos a shalem lechem aponim zov. Hi, it says shulchanos means there's more tables. There's other tables, not the tables of lechem aponim, of the siddur lechem aponim, but the tables where they went in and out at the process of putting lechem aponim on the table. As we'll see, this Mishnah comes up right away in Amud Beis. So it says like this. What is it? There were two shulchanos when you go into the ulam. One was made of silver, one is made out of gold. Rashi says right away it's not silver. Rashi here, it's marble. This is very light. It looks like silver, but the Mishnah is going to say shaish in a moment. Tosis Amud Beis, there's not so posh with Behem. He quotes a Rashi that says maybe it's a machlekes, but that's a Rashi learns over here. He goes in, he puts it on the silver or the marble table. Why zobitziosoi? Once it was on a golden table inside, you can't put it down on a silver table, it has to stay in gold. So I put it in a gold. That's the main shulchan, is the lechaporit tamid. That's what it is. I mean, how do I know this rule? That the kedusha you go up, you don't go down. So this pasuk says Moshe Rabbeinu built the Mishkan. Rashi brings you two explanations. How do you see that Malim B'Kodesh Ve'en Moridim? One shot is because Moshe Rabbeinu did it. Why Moshe Rabbeinu? Why didn't give anybody else? Malim B'Kodesh Ve'en Moridim. Or the pshat is Vayokem Moshe the Mishkan. The Mishkan is the oil of the Mishkan. He put first the tent and then he did everything else because Malim B'Kodesh you start with a more Kodesh Ve'en Moridim. You have to understand why.
The Masoret, Moshe Rabbeinu had to rebuild them.
No. There's only when that Mayor.
He put the tent and then everything else. That's Moridin.
No, Pshat is he kept it up. Kept it up. He kept it up and then he built below it. Why did he keep it up the whole time? You can talk away the Kedusha. But why in the first place they put it up? That's not so clear. How do you know you could go higher? It says by Koyrach. By the Anshe Koyach, they took the machtos from the Choitim. They made them as the part of the Mizbeach. Ki krivul v'nei Hashem ve'yikatru ve'yulois v'nei Yisrael. So betchilo tashmish Mizbech, beginning was only a kli that they brought the Torah to the Mizbech. V'achshav gufish Mizbech, after this became the mamish part of the Mizbech. Continues the Gemara, says another drasha. Asher shibarto v'somtom ba'aroin, Tanya of Yosef milamed shaluchois v'shivir luchos menochim ba'aron. In the Aron, you have both the luchos of Rishonis and luchos of Shniris. Because the Maharal goes on to explain over here, the mile of luchos Rishonis remain in the luchos. From here you learn, if you have a Talmid who forgot his learning, because even though you have shivir luchos around the luchos himself, they're broken. A Talmid Chacham who forgot his learning is like a broken luchos. More goes on and says, it's again on base. Sometimes you have to cancel, stop Torah. Rashi learns the pshat is bidu Torah, meaning sometimes you have to stop learning Torah to do a mitzvah, like achrosos kalo, tzosames, and others learn. I think Mashor brings over here that pshat is sometimes you have to, in order to learn Torah, you have to stop learning so to go to work. So you have to, in order to be able to continue learning, you have to do some manos. It's good that you broke it. Why? What's the Ma'isha Kol Shibarta? Because through the first you bring, through the fact that Am Yisrael forgot Torah, we have so much more Torah Shabbat Peh. If everything is clear, so you have through the, it's a you read the Torah Chaliyah. Who did something wrong, you don't go and disgrace him in public. Shemar Kashal Tayoim, Kashal Gam Novi Imcho Laila. It says the night. Kaseyu Kalal. Make it the dark as in the night. Someone who forgets something and is learning, you're not allowed to forget. To be careful. It's two lam. It's two shomaita, 2 pen. So what happens? He forgot. He was forced. He got sick. We have a Shulchan Rav. He says, person must do chazoros. If you don't do chazoros, that's considered to be forgetting. What happens if again, similar? He can't. He was trying, but he can't. It has to be at least he tried. Sorry, Torah need no baraboim, meaning Torah was given 40 days. Shama neitzer baraboim. Kol mishamer Torah also nishtamos mishtameres. Kol shinam mishamer Torah ein nishmos mishtameres. You don't keep the Torah, you don't chazer, you don't keep the neshama. Taz Rabbi Shmuel mashal la'adnu shamos tzipor dror la'avdei. A person gave a bird to his slave. If you lose anything, he'll take some money from you. I'll take you to neshama. Be very careful. In other words, the Torah and the neshama goes together. The Maharal goes on here to explain the neshama and the Torah are both the same idea because they're both chelek elokam ima. So pshat is, I have a neshama, you have a Torah. If you can't keep the parts of Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave you, you'll lose both. So the Mishnah. There were 2 shulchanos. Pesach Habayis in the entrance. Echad shashaish, here it says shaish, marble. Echad shazov. Al shashaish noisim lecha ponim v'klisasoi. Put the lecha ponim when they went in. V'al shazov itziasoi. Shemal ni b'koyde shalom already. Like we said before, you go up, you don't go down. V'echad shazov mifnim shalav lecha ponim tomit. V'arbo koyanim nechasim. There's 4 koyanim that come with lecha ponim. Shnayim biyodim shtei zdorim. Shnayim biyodim shtei bazichim. 2 of them are holding the each one set of breads, and 2 of them are holding each one the bazichim, which is the levainu. And 4 coming in front of them, which means they are they're coming in front of them to receive it. 2 of them are going to take the 2 sets of breads. To take the 2 sets of levainu. They stay on the north. Rashi says this is going to Manda Omar, so the shulchan goes east to west. So the north is from the wall, that's where they put the bread in. So the argument tzafon pnei mador, v'amatzim arguing the bador pnei matzafon, They pull, as they pull it out, meaning you have the table, you are putting in the bread, the other one takes it out. Put in the bread, takes it out. Why? Because I want to make sure there's not one moment with no bread. Every tefach goes in, goes out. שנאמר, לפוני תומד. I don't need tamid only when it's right immediately.
It's also considered.
It could be one could put in a few hours and put it afterwards. We'll see in the Gemara more about that. We took it out, put it on the golden table that we said before. They put the bazichim on the mizbeach. The crime, give the chas the crime. You can't eat the lechem because it's Yom Kippur. So you give the chas in the evening. Shabbos. See, so what do you do on Erev Shabbos on a Friday? Meaning the Yom Kippur falls on Erev Shabbos. What do you do with Yom Kippurim? You eat in the evening. But in the evening it's Shabbos, so you can't cook it. The Babylonians ate it raw, I mean not cooked, because at the oven they can eat raw, and this we'll see in tomorrow's lab. The Gemara can explain who were the Babylonians. So the Gemara. Tanya, we're in the Gemara and Daf like this one base. Tanya base yoyim afilu silek they shono shachris, v'sider sachadosha harvis, ein bekach klum. It doesn't matter. I don't have to have the bread the whole time. Elamani mekayim lefonai tomid. What does it mean tomid? Shaloyolin shulchan beloy lechem. Not to have a shulchan with no bread at all. Yeah, for the overnight. Here we learn what? I feel like shona adam perek echad shachis uperek echad arvis kiyem mitzvahs layomush tvator zayin picho. It says you have to learn Torah the whole time. If you learn a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening, you're good. As long as you don't say you don't pass overnight or overday without it. Because Tommy doesn't mean every single moment, but it's consistent every single oina. The continuation of this. He did shema in the morning, shema in the evening. Kiyem lo yamush. Now he was mekayim. Don't tell him this thing, because he's going to say, okay, I did shema, I'm good enough. For all the whole my mitzvah lo yifram. Good to say Fram words. Rashi actually brings two explanations. Either for them to know the godless of what it is. So they're going to say, if I say Shema, I'm going to be so successful. That's what it says in the pasuk. So if I learn more, it's going to give him more encouragement to learn more. Or says Rashi, another pshat that look at they're going to say, look at Rabbanah, look at the rabbis. They could do Shema and be good with it, but they still learn. So they're going to have more chashuvs for that. And now this is Moshe Feinstein when he points out that this is a daf yomi. The daf yomi is that you have to learn how you can learn the whole day. But if I have consistency where I learn every single day, that's tamid. So I'm having a kiyum of lo yom shetzav picha. Shol ben doimer ben achotzu shabishwal dabishwal kol ani shamati kol ator kulo mal ilum chachmei vonis. I learned kol ator kulo. I learned Greek philosophy. You have to learn day and night. Go check a time which is not day and not night. And then you can go and they learn. In other words, you have to learn the whole time. Right? Now, we'll get back to that in one moment. We want to see one more sentence over here. When it says, it's not an obligation, it's not a mitzvah, it's a bracha. Kadosh Baruch Hu Yeshua saw Yeshua so, he loves Torah so much. You love Torah so much, and it won't leave your, I'll give you a bracha, it shall always be there. Right? Don't have Torah Torah's chayva, which means Rashi learns chayva that you have. I have to learn. I am correct to learn. Okay, let me just finish and get out of it. I just want to do it with my chayva. Don't do that. Taisa says another shot. Torah chayva that you'll say I have to learn Torah and I'm not going to go work. No, you have to go do prados. If you can't get away from it. Okay, now, so the there is a big Indian over here at this daf, and we'll go into the sugya from the following. This is a question that some of the Achronim point out. It seems in the Gemara, when you learn the Pashup Shah in the Gemara, there's a machlokes of Yeshua Bar Yochai and Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Shmuel said that you have to learn the whole time, because his nephew asked him, "Can I learn? Can I study Greek philosophy?" He says, "No, you have to learn day and night." Yeshua Bar Yochai said, "No, you do Krishma in the morning, Krishma in the evening, you're good to go." So as the Farshim look at the Gemara and Brachas, Gemara and Brachas seem to say exact opposite. Rabbi Shmuel said, don't learn the whole time. You have to do. Who's gonna plow the land? Who's gonna have people have to work? Because of Shabbai Chayin says, no, if on Chayrish B'Hashas Harisha, so Rabbi Shazriya, who's gonna learn Torah? But I saw a Sivut Tzorah Shalvakoim saying better to learn the whole time. Mamash seems to be a contradiction. Big contradiction. How do we understand that? Then we have the next Gemara. The Gemara says that let's say Taisis, it should not be a chayva. How do you understand this? So one way to understand the whole Mahalach is based on the Vilna Gaon in beginning of Maseches Peah, Shnei Sil Yo, beginning of Maseches Peah. And the Vilna Gaon says something niflamoy. It says over there that Torah is it's endless shir, el dom shelim shir. What does it mean endless shir? It says the Gaon. Even the one word of Torah is a mitzvah. Milo teva achas. Mitzad shida English shir l'mayla. So means says the Gaon. So what? What's shot? Shot is like this. The yisoid of Torah, says the Vilna Gaon, is if Torah is such a big mitzvah, so why do we mevatel it for other mitzvahs? Because the klal is, says the Vilna Gaon, the rule is that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave us Torah to learn every single available moment. That's the sort of thing. You have to learn every available, anytime that you have anything that needs to be taken care of, which could be a mitzvah, could be a derech eretz, parnasa, eating, drinking, sleeping, doing anything that you need for physical, sanity. Then you don't learn Torah. But every moment that I have available, so then you have to learn Torah. Now, so Bimela comes like this. In our Gemara, no machlokes according to this. Yeshua Bar Yochai says, what is the minimum we have to learn? What's the kiyum of lo yom Torah? One word, you yotze. You taught me. You did it. Because Rabbi Shmuel says, it comes his nephew and asks him, can I learn Greek philosophy? Greek philosophy, there's no need to learn it. There's no mitzvah. I don't have a kayim anything. He's not parnasa. So now you can't. Because Torah has to be filling up all your available moments. If Yeshua Bar Yochai tells you what's the minimum amount in order to be kayim, that's lo yomush. But what's the maximum amount? Any available moment. It's not machlokes. The Gemara in Bracha is different. When the Gemara in Bracha is talking about what is the ideal situation, is the ideal situation a combination of Torah and derech eretz? Now, everybody agrees. Yeshua Bar Yochai himself as well agrees there. He agrees that what? That meaning, unfortunately, if you're stuck, you have to do parnasa. He doesn't disagree with that. It's not machlokes that when you have parnasa, you have to go work. The shaila is what's ideal? Is it ideal not to have a problem parnasa? And it better that someone else will do for you the work? Or no, maybe adarabah, the best thing, the best way. And explain a little more based on Maharal. Maharal tells us that in order for a person to be complete in ruchnius and gashmius, he needs to be able to work because he has to perfect his body. So the shaila is, what is the ideal situation? What is the perfect way for a person to live his life? If he has a choice. Because Shmuel gives the option. What should he do? Shmuel says, because the Shir Bar Yochai says, no, better to learn the whole time if you could. Says the Gemara over there, for most people, the way of Shir Bar Yochai doesn't work. Even if you are able, a person is retired, he can learn the whole day and the whole night. It's not good for him because he's not able to be so immersed in Torah. He needs to have something physical happening too. Derech eretz has to take care of. But for the Yechidim, it's good. That's regarding the ideal situation. That's what's ideal. But when I have a conflict, there's no machlokes. Always other things come before Torah, if that's what the tzarich is. And mainly that's what Yeshua says here. So what's the minimum I need? One word, Shema. What does the Shmuel says? If I have time, I have to do the whole time. There's no machlekes over here. And what is it brought down? I think in the name of the Chidush Harim, if I'm not mistaken. Stand with that. It says another thing. It says another thing when it means over here regarding Chachma Yevonis, he adds to it, even when you do have to go work, but don't be so immersed in work. Don't make it your life. Do what you need to do to pronounce, but don't make it like ideal. This is my life. So that's all part of the mashmos over here, and this is very you to put together. We'll stop over here. Be the Shem. We'll continue from here in tomorrow's daf. Have a wonderful night.
You too. And this is basically explains the